Hi, today I want to show you how you can access your user's native camera inside of your PWA and web application. You do not need to have a mobile application to access your user's native camera. This is a feature that is fully supported by the web platform. So let me show you today how you can set that up. It's super simple and it just takes a few minutes. So first of all, we need to have our Nodecraft project and we need to add a file uploader. Meaning, if you look for file or file uploader, there's nothing in Nodecraft. So we actually need to look for input because file uploaders are not file uploaders. They are actually inputs with a type of file uploader. So let's add an input and let's go on attributes and let's go to the type and make that file. Now it's a file uploader. Now we can remove the placeholder. And now when I click on there, obviously, it will open the file, so I can upload the files. But what if I want to open the native camera? The web platform actually includes support for that because there is the capture attribute that allows you to target the user or the environment, meaning the selfie camera or the back camera, like the camera on the back, the rear camera. So you can do that. So you can access the main camera or the selfie camera as a preset when they click on the file uploader. So let me show you how that works. Let's do the capture attribute for user. So I'm going to go on this HTML input and I'm going to add the capture attribute of user. Now that's all I need. I can just go to my application. I can open my PWA and I can now click on this and it automatically opens the native camera dialog. I can take a photo and I can retake it if I want to, and I can do another photo and use the photo and it will automatically upload it in the file uploader. How cool is that? So now the question is, let's say you want to say, hey, you can only upload a video because now they can do video or photo. So how do you restrict this to be either one of those? You can simply do that by adding another attribute to your file uploader. You can add the accept attribute inside of here. So this accept attribute lets you say, hey, only videos, only photos. So for only photos, you just do image/star, which is the wildcard for only images. If I now close the PWA and open it again, I will be able to click on this file uploader and only do a photo, right? Now, if I wanted to not take the selfie camera, I would just make the capture to be environment. There you go, environment. But, for example, we want to have this be to make a selfie of yourself, but you could change this. So this would be the default one where it starts. It could either start at the selfie camera or at the main camera. There you go. So now what do I do if I want to have only videos? You guessed it, I can just do video/star. Now if I try this out on my application again, close the application, open the PWA again, you will be able to click on here and you will see you can only do a video. So you can really control the native interface to the extent that you want. And it even works inside of the Safari. So you do not even need to turn this into a PWA. It also works in Safari and in Chrome on Android devices. So that's also great to notice. Now, this file uploader does look kind of ugly, not going to lie. So how can I custom style this? You can custom style this by using a label. So let's add a label element, which is essentially an input label, which let's go inside of this label and I can add a button in the label. I can add another div block in the label. I can go really creative with what I do in the label. So let's take this label and let's build a little interface here. Let's do like 3 rem by 3 rem and we'll center something in here and we'll make the background color blue and we're going to give it 1 rem border radius and I'm going to go on reloom icons and I'm going to take the most beautiful file icon, like upload, or no, even better, camera. Let's take the most beautiful camera icon here and I can copy that for Figma and I can paste that inside of here and I can import that. Look how great this looks and I can really make it stunning. I can go to the div and I can make this also blue. Look at that, beautiful. And now I have this in a label. So this label has something called a for attribute. So I can make like for uploader1, right? And I will copy that for attribute and I will go now to the native input and I will add another attribute that is an ID attribute and also put the same name inside of here. So now this input links through the ID attribute of uploader1 with the for attribute of uploader1 on the label. So I can go on the input, I can go on styling, and I can go on display, and I do none. So now, if I open the application again, just like that, you will see the ugly file uploader disappeared, and when I click on this beautiful button, it will open the native camera, just like that. How beautiful is that? Right? You can change it, you can record a little video if you want, just like that. You can preview it, you can use the video, and you will now have this in the file uploader. And then of course you can listen for the appropriate file upload events to get the file and store that into a variable. But that is how you build a native camera access inside of your application. Now you're going to ask yourself the question, okay, so now how am I going to get access to the file? That's actually quite simple. You can go and create a variable called file, and you can just have to start out as an empty variable. And then you can go on the input and you can go and add an input event on the input. And then you're going to set the file variable with event target. And then we're going to add a get filter on here. And we're going to add an array. And we're going to get files. And if you only want to get one file, you just do 0. Otherwise, you will get an array of files. Just like that. Beautiful. And then we could also go on the file uploader and add some other attributes based on, depending on what you're trying to do. But now, if I then upload a file, and you can test this on your computer by just manually uploading a file, you'll see the initial value now is a string. And when I go inside of here and try to upload an actual file, which I need to change this back to be an image because I don't have any videos right now on my computer. So let's make this image again, and let's click on this beautiful file uploader. Let's take an image, upload that image. You will see it used to be an empty string, and now the variable is an object, and that is a file object. And now, you can't really copy that, but you can send this file object now to your backend as a multi-part form data API call to then store this on your database and return a URL to you. And you could also turn this into a data URL and do many more things with that, which is pretty cool. So that's how simple that works. And this is how you can build such a beautiful native file creator. It's not really a file creator. It's not really a file uploader. It's a camera capture button. You can build a camera capture button as simple as just using a file uploader. And yeah, that's how you do that. It's super simple to work with. You can get the data into a variable with a little bit of creating that event. And that's how simple you can set those kinds of things up. Now, if you want to learn more about how to do complex things with files, how to build stunning applications inside of Nordcraft, and you want some personal help from me, I would highly suggest you to take a look at nocodeprocode.com. You will definitely not regret joining. It will probably be the best decision of your life because you're going to get access Monday to Friday daily from me to help you build your application faster and avoid all the roadblocks. Thank you so much for watching. Happy file uploader building, and if you have any questions or you have any video suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. I can't wait to make more exciting videos to make your life easier when it comes to building stunning web applications, PWAs, and mobile applications. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.